Something to get out of the way just real quick. If you found this video due to the various game tags that I have attached to it, I do apologize. This video is not content for those games, but if you do like those games, please stick around. You might like what I have to show. Hello everybody, I'm Dreadlord Viper 3K. I've been working on a bit of a passion project of my own since about November. Due to some struggles with PTSD and working full-time, I've only got about 2 or 3 months of actual development work on here. So what I'm working on is I'm working on a bit of a strategy game that's going to kind of follow the guise of, you know, Territory.io, OpenFront.io, Stellaris, Civilization, Total War. The whole idea, though, is I feel like there's a lot of content missing and a lot of potential being lost in the strategy genre, and I want to address those and come up with basically my dream strategy game. So for right now, this is early prototype. I wouldn't even call this a pre-alpha. It is so early in its development. And I want to do this as a first developer's vlog, kind of show what I have working so far and introduce people to my vision. So we do have some procedurally generated maps. We do have a few options here. If I were to go to a larger map size and hit regenerate, it'll give us something similar here, and you'll see this corner in the upper left is what the entire map was a minute ago. Let me go ahead and jump into the game. So it starts off asking where you want to start, put your starting capital. I'm going to choose right here. Looks like it's got some natural defensive points. So the way this game is going to work, you're going to start off with just your capital city. The capital city has a fully natural population. In most strategy games, they kind of abstract the population. Oh, hey, you have a pop of 1, or your city is a size 5, or, you know, whatever. Here we have a population, and the population of the city is going to be fully simulated. You have a fully simulated city going on here. There's going to be a level of detail system later on, so when you zoom in, the city that looks like just a dot here, but once you zoom in, you know, you're going to see buildings, roads, people walking around the town, and that's just kind of the beginning. Right now, I'm just going to show you the conquest mode. There's going to be a campaign mode as well, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. One of the first things I want to show off, one of the first things that is working, if I move this army to the other side of this mountain range. Now, see, it's not just a straight line. They take curves, like some natural curves. They avoid the mountain here a little bit. They try to go through that pass. So, in most games, it's typically just like a straight line. And usually, you know, user-defined waypoints. In some games, you have, like, auto-pathing handled, but it's going to be the most efficient path to get there, you know, the easiest to calculate. Here, we're doing something different. We're going to take in account for how fast we can get there, how difficult the path is, like if we're going through some rocky terrains, through some cliffs, things like that, and some other tactical, you know, relevant information. And the whole idea is we want this to be an in-depth simulation, you know, a little bit realistic, make it make sense. Going just a little bit deeper. The armies themselves, it's not just a dot on the map. If you take a look here, we have a Major Frederick Crawford here. Now, it's called the First Thunderfall Army based on the capital city of Thunderfall. Each army gets named after the city they're created from. Major Frederick here is in charge of 1st Battalion. So this game takes place in the gunpowder era. So we're talking the invention of the matchlock guns in the 1600s to the percussion camp in the 1850. So, you know, 1600, 1850. So to that effect, we have historically accurate army structures here. So if I drop down 1st Battalion and open it up, you see we have Captain James Taylor in charge of Alpha Company and Captain Joseph Morgan in charge of Bravo Company. So that's kind of the thing that's super important about this game is the tactical combat simulation. It is done at a tactical level. So you have your companies, you have your formations, you have, you know, the capabilities of each individual unit. If I expand this out further, you'll see we have stamina and morale. There's going to be a lot more stats there in the future, but that's where the combat takes place, is at that unit level. So if your units don't have morale, they don't have the discipline, they don't have the accuracy, all of these things are going to be taken into account into the combat simulation. This is just kind of a brief overview of the Conquest mode. It's primarily meant to be similar to OpenFront.io or Territorial.io, where it's basically just the combat. It's just warfare. So games could take about half hour. Now, campaign mode, that's where everything really shines. So one of the problems I have personally with like Stellaris, Total War, Civilization, these are great games, but they expect you to micromanage absolutely everything. City, economy, technology tree, your diplomacy, everything. So what we're going to do here is give you an environment with tools. The Sovereign Pixels is really meant to be ultimately a tool that allows you to play the game the way you want to play it, build an empire the way you want to build it. If you want to focus on your economy and your cities, you can do that and allow the AI to help you with the armies, help you with the warfare, have AI help you with diplomacy. If you want to, be a gun designer and an arms dealer, great. Build some factories and design and build the guns that you want to build and sell them to other players on the map. Heck, sell guns to both sides of somebody else's war if you want to, if that's what you want to do. If you want to micromanage everything and be in charge of everything like you would be in Total War Civilization, you can do that as well. The whole point of this game is to provide depth and provide options to play the game how you want to play it. And in terms of that depth, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, fully simulated cities, it's not just a city that's fully simulated, it's the economies, it's the logistics, everything's super important here. So like where that city's built, it's surrounded by mountains. So you'll probably see coal, you'll probably see iron, you'll see gold. All these resources will ultimately matter in a fully simulated system. You mine the iron, you turn the iron ore into iron bars. You have a gunsmith that turns the iron into the iron components of a rifle, turns it to steel for a steel sword. And so this is where the whole idea of factories and logistics come into play. So players, if you for anybody that's found my game through a Satisfactory search, this is what I'm talking about here. You have to set up logistics, you have to set up the factories to be able to produce these weapons, to produce the goods that you're going to be needing. You're going to have farmers that are going to be farming wheat, harvesting that wheat to have it crushed into flour, having the flour baked into bread to go out to feed your people, feed your armies. And the supplies and the logistics here is super important. The roads to take the ore from the mines to the city to be smelted, are they protected? Where are they located? Are they getting there in an efficient manner? The economy is also something else I'm going into much more depth. Most games, the economy is just a simple, hey, you collect this much in taxes, or you have 5 cities, so you're getting this much in taxes. Here we have a fully realized, fully simulated economy. You mine the gold. The gold gets turned into gold bars. The gold bars get sent to a mint to be minted into gold coins. Those gold coins get sent out to pay your troops in wages, to pay your miners in wages. Those miners, those troops, they use the gold coin to turn around, they buy their food, buy their supplies, pay their taxes. Those taxes then come back to your treasury. Fully simulated economic loop. Every decision you make matters. Every decision you make with your cities matter. Do you have the proper factories and logistics in your cities to handle the resources that are around them? Maybe you have a city that's in some grasslands, some fields, so you can grow wheat there. You can have cattle in those areas because they have plenty of room. A town that's in the mountains mining your gold, they probably can't grow any wheat up there in the mountains, so they have to bring the wheat in. Well, and now you have logistics going from town to town to town, supporting each other. So this is the ultimate vision. This is the area you just don't see. And sorry if I'm rambling here. This is a passion project I've been wanting to work on for quite some time now. That's where I'm currently at with it. Movement works. The AI is kind of working. Right now it's stuck on economic decisions, so it's not even moving its troops around. And there's going to be a lot more depth, and there's going to be a lot more to cover. This is really just an introduction, kind of a developer's vlog showing how Movement is working. Movement is doing what it's supposed to be doing in terms of efficient routing. And absolutely love what it's doing. There's going to be a lot more to show as we get further along into development. I actually have more to show everybody. Kind of on that note, I did mention that, I've been working on this since November, kind of off and on. I've only got like about 3 months of actual development time logged on the game. So if the introduction I've got going on here and the things that I'm talking about, if this sounds like something you would like to see and like to see it get developed faster, I do have a Patreon set up. The link to the Patreon will be in the description below. Couple options with the Patreon. Like, get your name into the game. Get your name listed as a commander. Get your name listed as an actual sovereign or a king or whatever in charge entire nations. When it comes to these donations, just anything that you want to contribute, I'm more than appreciative of. If you don't want to do $1 a month to have your name in the game, send me $5 for an energy drink to help keep the dream alive, keep me going. Anything you want to donate is great. And if you don't want to donate and you just want to subscribe and follow the progress, hey, that would be great too. Anything to keep this passion alive would be super appreciated. Right now, what I'm working on is I'm working to get to a first playable test build where the full game loop is fully functional. Combat's in place, AI's able to order troops around and actually do something. That way I can start working on clearing out the bugs and polishing the game up for a first public test release. Ultimately, though, one of the challenges I'm facing, I basically picked up the cheapest hosting I could get, and it is due to renew in November. Right now, the server that I have isn't powerful enough to handle any more than maybe 50 players simultaneously. And also on top of that, it can't handle multiplayer. It also can't handle bigger maps. The map sizes are kind of capped because the server just can't handle that much procedural generation. So anything to help get that upgraded server in place so we can start getting the ball rolling here. I'd hate to release a public release and have the server crash because it just can't handle the number of players trying to play it. All of that said, though, this is just a first kind of developer's vlog and introduction to the game and the vision. My next video, I'm hoping to have some more features in place. I have a few things that I'm going to be working on. So until next time, thank you so much for watching.